In every quiet town, behind the noise of daily life, there are stories no one dares to tell, stories whispered in the shadows, where hearts beat louder than reason, and love grows where it should not. This is one of those stories. Sophia was just another face in the crowded lecture hall at Crestwood University. Books in her arms, dreams in her eyes, she believed she was invisible to the world. But what no one knew was that Sophia carried a hunger to be understood, to be seen, to matter in a world that often forgot her. And then there was him, Professor Ethan Blake. Brilliant, respected, feared by some, admired by many. He wasn't just a teacher of literature, he was a man who could make words come alive, who could take an old poem and make you feel as if it were written just for you. To the world, he was untouchable, but to Sophia, he became something else. It didn't begin with looks or stolen glances. It began with words, comments in the margins of her essays, questions that went deeper than the textbook, conversations that stretched long after class had ended. Slowly, cautiously, their worlds began to overlap, like two pages in the same book, pressed together by fate. But here lies the conflict. Theirs was not a love they could speak of. Not yet. Not here. For the world they lived in had rules, unbreakable lines drawn to protect reputations, futures, lives. And yet, in the quiet moments, in the way his eyes lingered when he spoke to her, in the way her heart raced when she found one of his notes slipped between the pages of a book, Sophia knew she was no longer invisible. She was seen. She was chosen. Still, shadows followed them. Every smile risked suspicion. Every shared silence carried the weight of exposure. Friends began to notice. Whispers grew louder. And Sophia wondered, was this love a miracle or a curse waiting to destroy them both? One evening, under the old clock tower, as rain misted the empty campus, Ethan spoke the words that changed everything. This has to stop, or it has to become something real. His voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed the storm inside. Sophia's heart pounded. She knew the choice before them was no longer about rules. It was about courage. They chose silence. They chose waiting. They chose to hide their love in the margins of essays, in coded words, in fleeting glances. And all the while, time moved closer to the moment that would set them free or tear them apart. Graduation came. Sophia walked across the stage, diploma in hand, the weight of years heavy on her shoulders. And there he was, in the crowd, no longer her professor, but still the man who had stolen her heart. Their eyes met, and in that single moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. That night, a letter slid beneath her door. Just one line, written in his hand. Words simple, but powerful enough to rewrite her story forever. Now we can begin. And so, what began in shadows stepped into light. A love once hidden, now daring to exist. But make no mistake, this is not the end. This is only the beginning of a love that fought against rules, against whispers, against the world itself. Because sometimes the greatest stories are not the ones written in books, but the ones we're too afraid to tell.